Hello friends, Ken McAuliffe here. I am the jazz vinyl lover. Today I wanted to show you something that has nothing to do with jazz per se, but I just thought was a really cool cultural recording artifact. This is Stereo for the Joy of It from 1959, RCA Victor LSP 9301. When I first saw this, it was Mercer Street Books here in Lower Manhattan. I thought maybe this was a book about old stereos. Because you see the console and I guess this is a radio, and this is a rather collectible chair here on the left. But I opened it up and it's a collection of records, meant for the whole space age bachelor pad thing, or the dawn of stereo. I believe the first stereo recording came out in 1959 on Audio Fidelity Records, and that was all the rage. But this is a really cool set. It has some definite cheese on it. The Melacrino Strings and Orchestra, Xavier Cugat, Dick Shorey. Actually, the Dick Shorey's new percussion ensemble. The record I'll show you in a minute has been reissued by Quality Pressings. It's pretty damn expensive. But at its best, it's still pretty cheesy. I'll buy anything that's percussion because I was a drummer for a long time. But it doesn't quite cut it. The Ames brothers. Ed Ames was in the Lone Ranger, if you recall. If you were anywhere in the ballpark of the mid-40s. Perry Como, Bing Crosby, the new Glenn Miller Orchestra, but maybe the coolest thing in here is Esquivel and his orchestra. But for me, just a fan of hi-fi records in general, not all of the late 50s hi-fi rate, because it can get pretty corny. But anyway, I'll take you through this. It is so much fun. Stereo for the Joy of It. This sounds like something that Don Draper came up with at Mad Men. Other Worlds, Other Sounds, talking about Esquivel. And I guess this kind of runs through each record. Fancy Meeting You Here, The King Plays Some Aces, Xavier Cugat. But this thing is in mint shape, and I paid like $30 for it. Music for Bang, Barroom, and Harp. This has been reissued on Quality Pressings. And I'll just sort of leaf through because I just thought this was really fun. Saturday Night with Perry Como. The Stereo Story, where it gets into the whole idea of stereo. Music for Dining, The Answer Is Here, stereo. Now it gets into the actual records. I don't know the release dates on these individual records, but this has been repressed as well. This is a pretty popular record, the Esquivel. Some of these I've never seen anywhere like this. Rosemary Clooney, who looks pretty hot right there, and Bing Crosby. You can just see the late 50s incredible saturation of the colors. Everything was so rich. Oh, and on the back they show you other interesting stereotype records from RCA. Bob and Ray, College Classics. Here's Xavier Cugat. I bet that was a big deal to have the cards floating in space. The Ames brothers. I mean, the colors are just bizarre, They're just so rich and the designs are so crazy by my standards. I mean, obviously very dated, but fun, That's the Bang, Barroom, and Harp. And I guess more percussion records, brass and percussion. The Mighty Wurlitzer and the Roaring Hi-Fi 20s, there's one to avoid. Fireworks, I've never seen that. Having a Ball with the Three Sons, I have no idea who that is. On Stage with Robert Shaw, I imagine this is some over-the-top vocal choirs. The new Glenn Miller Orchestra with some dude who's not Glenn Miller, obviously. I think that's Dave Garraway or something like that. Perry Como, who was never that slender or tall in real life. That sort of says it all. The Melacrino Strings and Orchestra. Who came up with the idea Melacrino? This almost looks like a monster over here on the right. And that's it. But I'll pull out one of these just so you can see the condition these things are in. So I was really psyched to get this. I haven't played it yet, but it just looks like a lot of fun. And as a record collector, you see stuff like this and automatically just kind of wig out. Oh my God, what is that? Nothing on the back. It's really heavy. I mean, I wonder if they even have the technology to do this sort of a book binding thing. It's pretty remarkable. Very heavy. to me, just a really unusual cultural artifact from 1959. And hopefully next time we can actually have some jazz records. Thanks for checking it out.